Pour yourself some soju and get comfortable, because you are tuning into the Confessions of a K-Drama Queen podcast. K-dramas are my guilty pleasure, and if you're here, they're probably yours too. So stick around, because we are talking all things K-drama.
K-drama. K-drama.
K-drama.
Hey y'all, and welcome to the first episode ever of the K-Drama Queen podcast. I'm your girl Josie, aka Yoshi, aka Geisha_.x on Instagram if you know me like that. So basically, I'm sick. I might sound a little stuffy. I don't know if that is a good sign. Maybe this podcast will be really terrible. Who knows? We're here now. So since it's the first episode, let me give you a little bit of my K-drama background, because I know you're wondering, like, who the heck is this girl? And does she even have the credentials to talk to me about K-dramas? Well, I'm here to tell you. Matter of fact, let me paint you a picture, okay? Are you with me? Do you have your popcorn? Bet. It was a snowy day in 2009, and your girl had just gotten home from school. Yes, I'm an elder millennial, which means I'm a second generation K-pop fan too, by the way. Okay. All the time, I was obsessing over Big Bang, and somehow I came across Boys Over Flowers, the ultimate K-drama starter kit. Like, if you know, you know. And I've been hooked ever since. Gosh, it's so crazy how, like, back then, there was, like, 3 places you could go to watch K-dramas besides YouTube. And you were lucky they even had anything subbed. I remember I would go on this website. I can't remember the name now, but it would list thousands of dramas, and I would pick one and then head over to YouTube or Drama Fever and just watch them like that. Like, those were the days. And can I add how salty I am too? Like, nowadays you can grab merch like pretty much from anywhere. You can go on Amazon, Etsy, your local K-pop store, and buy everything at hand. Like, back then, my parents were very stingy AF, and I would ask them to buy me a bunch of stuff from yesasia.com. That's another thing, like, if you know, you know. Yes Asia was like the hot spot to get everything imported, but your girl had to make do with what she had, aka I just had to print out a bunch of papers from Google Images and just put them on my wall. Now I don't have to do that anymore. I could just buy posters because I'm grown. Like, if I want to buy a $20 BTS lanyard, I will.
And the best part of this plan is, no one can stop me.
But anyways, I pretty much grew up super obsessed with this stuff, and now at 28 years old, damn near 30, I'm like, you know, I should really do something with this talent of, like, being able to binge watch a 16-hour drama in 24 hours. Like, I should get paid for this. But needless to say, I just want a hobby where I can pretty much just do something with it and not just sit on the couch being a little potato, just watching dramas and not doing anything with it. But anywho, and that's how this podcast was born. And if somehow I find even the teeniest success, I can get back at my parents for the years that I spent binge watching instead of doing my homework. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, the boring intros and the who I am, blah, 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 why I'm here. The first drama that I'm going to talk about for the first episode, well, I guess the only drama that I'm going to talk about, I think I'm still trying to figure out what the segment is and how I'm going to do this, but I think I'm just going to talk about Business Proposal, because that is the drama that I'm currently watching, and it is lowkeythebomb.com. So let me grab my Capri Sun and get right into it. Sorry about that. I'm like really thirsty. So I already know this podcast is going to be amazing because look, you get K dramas and a little bit of ASMR. Wow, 2 for 1 special. But anyways, now that we've gotten acquainted, it's funny. Like when I started watching Proposal, I decided to start this podcast, and I'm only on episode 6 or 7. And I was like, let me go ahead and rewatch the first couple of episodes. And so that's kind of where I am because I wasn't planning on digesting the show, but I just grabbed a couple key favorites so far, things that I like about it, because I am a really picky person when it comes to how dramas end. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I need the ending to be perfect, or else the whole drama goes to waste. One drama that comes to mind when I say that, and please don't attack me. I probably don't even have followers or anybody, but like, don't kill me, one person who's listening out there. I did not like Run On. There, I said it. Sorry, not sorry if I offended you, but that drama started off with so much potential and there was no climax, which made the whole thing poop. Like, I was more intrigued by the secondary storyline than I was the main one. Maybe I'll do that. I'll talk about that a different day. But anyways, I keep getting sidetracked. So, for those who have not watched Business Proposal, let me give you a quick spoiler alert. Not really a spoiler. I'll just give you a quick summary of what it's about. That's not going to ruin the whole show for you. So the story is about a food researcher that works at this really big prestigious company named Sheen Harim, and she takes her friend's place, Young So's place, on a blind date with somebody who's basically trying to set her up for business reasons. And turns out this is really handsome guy named Kang Tae-moo, and he's real uptight, but apparently it was love at first sight, and she obviously is not herself on that blind date. So she takes on different characters, and basically he falls in love with her no matter who she is, whether she's the person on the blind date or her real identity. So I guess one thing that this drama has in common with Run On, and like not in a bad way, was the whole secondary storyline thing that I mentioned earlier. Except that I like the main storyline too. Oh, so good. That's how you know a drama is pretty good, and I'm not just hyping it up. Or maybe it's because I'm not finished with it yet that I like it so much. I love when secondary storylines and you love the main one. That's how you know that the drama is actually pretty good. And like, I really appreciate this whole, like, the male leads not having to fight each other for the same girl. After you watch so many of these, you kind of see the same love triangle. So I'm actually all for, like, the two, like the main lead and the secondary lead be handsome and be nice to each other and not have to brawl over a chick. And like, I kind of started watching this for Kim Min Kyu because I heard he hit the gym for this role and gained 33 pounds in muscle. So just side note there, because he actually looked pretty good. But with them not fighting each other, I felt like, I guess I still feel like I'm trying to figure out who the real villains are going to be, because me being on episode whatever now, actually I think I'm on episode 8. I can't remember. I think that it's not going to be the grandfather because he's actually really nice. Like, despite the evil brows that they try to put on this man, I don't know if y'all peeped it, but he out here looking like that dragon thing from Samurai Jack with the eyebrows looking crazy. Not Samurai Jack. But no, on a serious note, it's actually very refreshing to see that the elderly grandparents or parents, but grandparents, in this case, grandfather, they're not being portrayed evil And it's ironic, very ironic, that everyone in this show is watching a Korean drama within this Korean drama. And it's basically what's really happening in the story, but in a very dramatic and unlikely way. So, but he's not acting like that. So that's actually really nice, because you always expect the grandparent to be this rich, snooty person. Nobody's good enough for my grandkid who is going to take over this company. But, like, how nice that we have a nice old man who just wants his grandson to be married. So, I mean, I'm going to rule him out. Again, I'm not done with the show, so we'll see. But I'm going to rule him out. I think my suspicions are going to be that the chef, damn, I didn't talk about him yet. Yeah, my guess is going to be that Shin Hari's old crush / old best friend, boy best friend, since he obviously liked her all this time, even though he was a complete, like, a-hole to her and completely cold to her. But I think that his girlfriend is oddly, like, jealous of Shin Hari. I think she's gonna be the one that's gonna, like, mess this whole situation up. Yeah. But another thing that I liked about this drama is, I guess it's charming. Like, it's overall charming, and maybe it's because it is, it's based off a webtoon, so they kind of have that little, like, quirkiness to it. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I guess for people who already watch K-dramas, you know what I mean. Like, it's serious, but then it has funny moments, and it's just overall very cute. I still don't know how to say the nickname, Taemu's nickname that she gave him. Like, don't laugh, because I know none of y'all can't say it either. But it's very cute how she calls him an Archaeopteryx. And this, I guess it's an old dinosaur, and whenever he calls, it's just this little dinosaur that flies off the phone making these, like, weird eagle sounds. That's very adorable. See, that's very charming, and that's very, like, cartoony, but then it gets serious, and I like that. I kind of like K-dramas that, like, are very emotional or make you feel emotional. It's like a push and pull feeling. But it's not to the point where I'm gonna cry. Yeah, I don't see this drama, like, making me cry like other ones have, but I give it a good 8, a solid 8 out of 10. This drama is definitely good for that very, I guess unrealistic expectations of love, because how he loved her from this blind date when she was pretending to be somebody else, and you love her real identity. Like, I guess it's cool, but to those who are not in the K-drama world, that can come off as very creepy. There are so many other examples I can give that I'm not going to get into right now, but then he was like, yeah, I'm going to marry this chick, like, right here, right now. Like, like, this is the one. She's dressed like a hooker, but she's not boring, so therefore I'm gonna give half of my grandfather's empire to this woman in a bad wig. Just kidding, it's actually a very good wig. Like, the way that she, like, popped it on that one scene where her friend Young So made her come back to the date to apologize for calling him an Archaeopteryx, and and she had this wig, and, like, she just popped it on real quick. I know you know what I'm talking about. She, like, popped it on and then turned around. The wig was on perfectly. Like, sis, can you give us a tutorial on how you just, like, put on a wig? Pop, pop. Like, not gonna lie, that actually made me laugh. I ran that back. I also love when drama, like, when dramas have the storyline where this rich, amazing boyfriend wants to show off in front of all of her friends and buy all of their dinners while they all secretly hate her. You can definitely guarantee that scene was there. That was actually one of my favorite, maybe not my top favorite. Let me stop saying that everything was my favorite, but I really like that scene because he was like, yeah, F these hoes. I am her man. Yeah, and I'm the president. That was very cute. It's very cute how he, like, super pursues her and is, like, not taking no for an answer. Again, in drama world, that is what we want. in real life. Please don't do that. If a girl says no, like, leave her alone. But since we all know it's all good intentions and it's all in good fun, I thought that was very cute. But my problem here is that after all these attempts of him trying to get with Shinhari, she is so bent backwards on not giving this man a chance, even though she loves this man. But because, you know, they're from two different worlds and it'll never be Romeo and Juliet, she's like, no, I can't. Like, what will people think? Girl, what? But it was cool because eventually she gave in and she gave this man a chance because she heard way too many people calling this man fine and she was getting all jealous. She had already kissed him and then tried to take it back. But okay, like, we get it. Can we talk about that dodgeball scene though? Like, right after, I guess that was like the turn of events for the storyline of like, oh, leave me alone, like, to now I'm gonna actually give you a chance. I kind of rolled my eyes at that scene because I was like, why do dramas take the longest path possible to give you a storyline? But that's why it's a drama and that's why we're all here. But I'm laughing because I'm like, ugh. So now you sprain your wrist after this man has been asking you out for just to win a date with him. Like, you haven't already been dating him all this time. You're going through ropes to win this man over. But, okay. Like, he's already yours. All you have to do is text him. I don't get it. And, like, they do that. They're like, she's about to call or text him because of what happened the night before with the other guy, the old chef guy, whatever his name is. And she deletes the text and never sends him the message. And that's another thing that, like, makes me roll my eyes a little bit at these dramas, is that they always don't do what they're supposed to do. I should have taken a shot of soju every time that somebody in this show has interrupted another person when they're about to tell them something very important. Like, I'll give you one example because this actually happened way too often in this show so far. But when Young So went to tell Kim Min Kyu, well, I guess Sung Ho, his character name in the show, that she wanted to forget that the hookup happened, and he was literally about to tell her how much he liked her. And I'm like, yo, you guys are all putting your foot in your mouth constantly. Like, I know it's not, well, I don't know, I'm pretty sure it's not Korean culture to constantly interrupt each other when one person is about to tell you a very important piece of information and they're like, actually, let me go first and ruin this for myself. Yeah, that's that. Listen, if I took a shot of soju every time that happened, I would be drunk. I would have to go through at least 5 bottles. Maybe not that many, but you know what I mean. Okay, so that's pretty much my opinion so far. I'm gonna go finish the rest of the show and see what I think about the ending, and then I'm gonna come back and record the rest of this podcast and see if my opinion differs from what I think so far. So be right back. Bye. And I'm back. You see how fast I can watch Korean dramas? I told you, it was like lightning speed. So halfway through the drama, I've realized that this show only has 12 episodes, and as you know, that's kind of different than the 16 episode format for K-dramas. On average, they're between 16 and 24 episodes. And so I was like, let me Google, did something happen? But no, apparently this drama was planned to be a 12 episode drama right from the beginning. And I think the article said that Netflix started this trend. So it makes sense why the storyline was so fast. And I don't know how I feel about that. I'm actually a little concerned because other broadcast stations are now adapting that same 12 episode format, which is cool if you're, like me, and I have a full-time job. So I guess it's easier for me to consume dramas. like this, but it takes away the fun almost. They're saying that consumers' watch pattern are starting to change. Therefore, dramas are starting to accommodate their viewers because people want fast entertainment and fast drama. And I don't really like that because that is literally the whole point of Korean dramas is how can we make this AB storyline make it so long and so complicated. But hey, I guess I it almost sounds like they're trying it almost sounds like it's really for money to save money production wise. Yeah, I don't like it. So let's go back to this 16 episode standard format. Yeah, they're trying to make this story development so fast in order to catch the viewer's attention quick, which is cool in the beginning because you want to catch their attention from the beginning. But oh my god, we're not trying to make K-dramas into TikToks, because remember when we used to watch regular standard social media? Now let's condense it down to under 3 seconds of entertainment because apparently our society is turning into goldfish. But I guess that justifies why Kang Tae-moo wanted to propose to her on like the first episode. I thought it was just part of the storyline, but now it's behind this evil plan to make K-dramas a lot shorter, so they just get to the point right from the beginning. I actually had to rewind the part where Young So and Sung Hoon went to meet her dad, and they were like, oh, we've only been dating for a little over a month, and I'm like, what? You mean to tell me that all this time that has passed has only been a month? Because it's hard to tell how much time has passed in a TV show unless they put like emphasis on season changes. But I mean, it makes sense since they only showed the rainy season. But it's so crazy how he proposed to her right after that. But I can't say I hate it. I was like, oh, he's proposing. And then at the same time, I'm like, oh, it's only been a month. Like, it's like we're watching a Disney princess movie. But I secretly love it, so I'm in constant conflict with myself, and it's so addicting, so toxic, but I love it. I'm still shocked on all the things that they really could have elaborated on, like the grandfather's approval, which honestly I didn't believe him from the beginning. I'm like, he's like fake strict. We all know that he's very nice and he's gonna propose. He's gonna not pro. He's gonna approve the proposal. So okay, but at least Young So's dad, like, I actually forgot about him. I don't know about you guys, but I totally forgot that she had parents and that she had to have been born from somewhere. They showed her dad once in the beginning, and then we forgot all about him, and then he shows up towards the end because he's been secretly stalking his daughter by hiring a detective, and then he comes in and they have that dinner, and then he pretends to like Sung Ho, but then he really doesn't. And so that makes her stand up against her dad to, helps her decide that she's going to be independent because she's in love and, he doesn't make the rules and he doesn't even really like her, XYZ, whatever the case was. But it was almost hard for me to really connect with that moment. Like, I honestly felt a disconnect because usually in dramas, you develop these connections to these characters. And so when they make big decisions like this, we feel them too. Like, we're breaking up with our own parents. But honestly, like, I was like, okay, cool. I didn't really feel much because they rushed the whole storyline. So I'm like, oh, shoot, I forgot she had a dad. All right, cool. And then we never saw him again. Another person that made a difference but also didn't make a difference. Minwoo, the chef ex-boyfriend, not ex-boyfriend, the ex-best friend, the chef's girlfriend or whatever, Yuna or Yuda, I can't remember. She exposed the relationship. Like, I knew she was gonna do that, but I didn't expect her to just disappear right after that. They had that little short moment where she was like, actually, I've been secretly hating you all these years. They just threw that in there. Like, they were like, oh, by the way, I only dated him because you liked him. There was no flashbacks. Like, we could have had a good Naruto moment and had a flashback on their friendship, because then it would have made sense. They just kept talking about her figuratively for the beginning. Then she shows up for like 1 or 2 episodes, and then she's like, yeah, I secretly hated you. Why? We don't know. Like, did anyone else get that feeling? Like, she was like, oh yeah, I secretly hated you our whole friendship. We don't know what the friendship was like. So it just felt real, again, a disconnect with their friendship. So for her to do that, like, cool, and then disappear, it was so unimpactful. Like, you would think that her blowing up the secret was going to be this super thing. Nope, blew over in 2 seconds. Because why? We only had 1 or 2 episodes left anyways. So because there were less turns and twists and like plot twists and stuff, I am actually going to give this drama a 7 instead of an 8 out of 10. It's still a really good, drama. It has all the basic elements that we love. But there were so many things that they could have expanded on for us to really feel, those something that could really pull on our heartstrings. But, I mean, there's only so much you can do with a 12-episode drama. So, overall, I still really like it. Very cute that he proposed to her at the end, of course, which is what we need. I would have been pissed if he didn't propose, given the name and everything. But, yeah, I like it. It was very cute. The actors were amazing. There was a little bit of character development between the main characters. Although, again, I feel like they could have elaborated on that, because first he was afraid of rain. It took one date for it took one date for Kang Tae-moo to never be afraid of rain again. Like, you have been carrying this fear with you since you were a child. You mean to tell me that in 1 episode you have conquered your fear of rain? And then the parents, somebody with PTSD, and then they explain the story of what happened. They literally explained the car accident in 5 seconds. We didn't really have a chance again to connect with the trauma. They just threw the trauma in there like Chemical X real quick, and like creating the Powerpuff Girls of the storyline, and then expected us to be all like carried away. But I wasn't. I was like, oh no, the parents, cool. Well, yeah, I just kind of wish that they talked about the parents more and the trauma, like how a normal drama would, with the flashbacks and all that stuff. But I get it, 12 episodes. There's only but so much flashback you can do. But that's what I think. So if you didn't think I was rambling and you enjoyed the show or agreed or disagreed with my opinion, find me on Instagram at k.dramaqueen. XO. That's k.dramaqueenxo. Again, that's on Instagram. I just built the page not that long ago, so I don't really have a lot going on. I plan on changing that around, and I kind of want a couple people to like connect with, since again I don't have a lot of friends in the K-drama world. So please be my friend. Okay, so till next time, bye y'all. Oh yeah, and thank you for tuning into the first episode ever of Confessions of a K-Drama Queen podcast. Okay, alright, bye for real now. See ya.